Good evening and thanks for joining us. 2 people are dead following a serious motor vehicle collision on the Thunder Bay Expressway. The OPP confirmed that 1 person was pronounced dead at the scene of the early Saturday morning collision, and a 2nd person succumbed to their injuries in a hospital. The 2-vehicle collision occurred between Arthur Street and the Harbour Expressway. The highway remained closed until 3:30 this afternoon. The investigation is ongoing. Well, the Thunder Bay Police are investigating a motor vehicle collision that occurred last night around 9:30 p.m. A Thunder Bay Police Service cruiser was traveling south on Waterloo Street when it collided with a Subaru sedan at the intersection of Victoria Avenue. The uniformed patrol constable and female passenger received minor injuries, as well as the driver of the Subaru. Both vehicles sustained damage. The intersection was closed for nearly 3 hours, and the investigation is ongoing. Meanwhile, Thunder Bay Police were called to the Max on South Syndicate after the clerk noticed an unpaid item in a female's pocket. When the clerk confronted her, the female claimed to have a weapon and fled the store with the items. The woman is described as Native Canadian, mid-20s, 5'7" with dark hair, wearing a black parka. Anyone with information is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. Well, Rainy River MP John Rafferty held his 2nd of 2 town hall meetings today with guest MP Glenn Thibeault. The topic of conversations revolved around ways of making life more affordable for families and how to help small businesses succeed. However, the turnout wasn't as big as they had expected. Thibeault is the party's critic for consumer protection, small business, and tourism. He's traveling across the country to listen to Canadians on how they deal with the increased cost to live. The presentation touched upon ways to make life more affordable and how you can help small businesses succeed during a time where the economy is recovering. The meeting was delayed by 40 minutes in hopes of a bigger turnout.
Sunny day on a Saturday in Northern Ontario, and we've been cooped up too long, so folks, wanted to get outside. But there could be many reasons. But you know what? We're still going to do it for the folks that did show up, and have a conversation with them about what are the things they can do to start protecting their pocketbooks, and what we're going to do as a government in 2015 to make sure that we can protect their pocketbooks.
Today's presentation wrapped up the town hall meetings for the time being. Well, a new developments emerged in the search for Malaysia Flight MH370. Chinese satellites have located another piece of debris in the Indian Ocean that could be wreckage and that could hold the key to finding the vanished plane. Canadian technology is also playing a role in the search. Shanna Martin reports.
A single grainy image. At the center, adrift is an object some 22 meters long. Another possible clue in the search for missing Flight 370.
The Chinese ambassador received satellite image of floating objects in the southern corridor, and they will be sending ships to verify.
Those deep, treacherous waters are already under scrutiny in a coordinated search led by the Australian government. The only discoveries so far, a wooden pallet and seaweed. Helping the search by air today was this Canadian captain.
We weren't able to locate anything of significance. However, there are other aircraft that are continuing the search at this time that hopefully will have some better luck.
Talk of luck is little comfort to the families of the missing, now facing week 3 with no answers, no real evidence of where their loved ones may be. The message from Australia, the best available is on the hunt. Just look at its fleet. This icebreaker, an aircraft from China, from the US, a surveillance plane from the Navy. Australia is flying 2 ultra-long-range commercial jets, including a Canadian-made Bombardier. There's also several P-3 Orions, equipped with some high-tech Canadian help.
The picture that very quickly went, I'm going to say, viral.
The picture shows the Australian Air Force using radar and high-powered cameras designed by Nova Scotia's CartNav Solutions.
We help them find the needle in the haystack.
A haystack that spans 36,000 square kilometers of turbulent sea, making any debris a moving target.
You can do some correlation of data from current flows to the location where it might be and do some tricky arithmetic, essentially, to work out where the aircraft might have splashed on the water and then sunk to the bottom of the ocean. But we really are still clutching at straws.
Hope, the best thing to hold on to in this ongoing search. Shanna Martin, CBC News, Toronto.
The Couchiching First Nation near Fort Frances has elected Sarah Mainville as its new chief following Chuck McPherson's passing in January. As John Thompson reports, Mainville is making formal education for the youth her highest priority.
It's the end of a dynasty in Couchiching First Nation. When Chief Chuck McPherson passed away in January, it brought an end to a quarter-century of his family's leadership. On March 10th, the First Nations land claims lawyer Sarah Mainville was elected to begin the next chapter. While Mainville admired McPherson's knowledge of Couchiching's legacy and history, her legacy began with social media, outreach, and the development of democratic culture. If the land claims she worked on are settled, all community members will have a vote, and she wants the communication channels open. Her top priority will be working with local programs and district school boards to increase graduation rates among youth.
We're talking about putting in supports so that our teenagers have healthier lifestyles. I'm not saying that we're looking at a school in Couchiching. The former council was looking at a school. It was a K-3, grade 3 school. We are going to ask the community if they in fact support that, because my understanding is that it didn't have a wide level of support. So what I'm actually focusing on is doing better with what we have.
Debbie Fairbanks has been the community outreach worker at Treatment and Support Services since 2010. Having just finished a 12-week program with youth who aren't attending school, she supports Mainville's priority, adding the shift is already underway.
We actually have one youth that went back and got her GED. Is getting her GED now, and she'll be enrolling in college in the fall. We're hoping, you know. And there's other youth that were enrolled early in the program, and they decided to go back to school, you know, in January. So there's been some success rates, and one of the mottos that I use is, at the end of the day, it's all about you. You know, like what are you contributing to your own life?
Treaty 3 Youth Executive Council member Brenda Adams was one of the youths in Fairbanks' program, and she aspires to register in college this fall. She sees a lot of young people out of school, but points out that the youth are becoming more active and engaged as adults are increasingly committing to helping them reclaim the culture.
Children are actually starting to come out of their shells, and it has opened up a lot of people. It's brought me out of my shell. I'd be a lot more shy if I hadn't gone through that program. Probably wouldn't be doing this right now.
A 2010 community survey showed only 1 in 5 respondents had completed college or university programs, where 2 in 5 hadn't completed secondary school. The Education Office says it's been making progress, and Couchiching is looking to swing with that momentum, betting its future on strengthening its youth. John Thompson, TBT News.
It's an event that brings a gym class favorite back for a good cause. The annual Dodging It for United Way dodgeball tournament had everyone acting like kids again. But as TBT's Mike Albanese tells us, the game may have taken a little more out of some people than they may have expected.
The 7th annual event may not have had as many teams as usual, but with each of the 25 teams raising their $1,000, the same amount of money will go to United Way. The event is so popular, it always attracts so much fun that even organizing the event doesn't feel like work.
This is actually run by the Young Professionals branch of United Way, Gen X. The organizing committee is all based in that type of age demographic, 18 to 39, people who might normally not really think philanthropically at this stage in their lives, but it's a great way for them to get involved and to raise money while still having a good enough time to not really realizing they're doing the work for it.
Everyone who gets involved with the event dives deep into it, like Jules Tupker, who not only is the president of the board of United Way, but also refs at the event. Tupker sees plenty of people exert themselves on the turf, and he says the rush of the fun usually camouflages the wear and tear on some bodies.
Just the atmosphere. It's just amazing seeing all these young people running around out here having a great old time, coming out at the start of it and thinking they're in great shape and they can do this, and by the end of the afternoon they're all running around or walking around with like the walking wounded. They're all pretty sore after a lot of exercise here.
A perfect example was Ben Danier, who plays with a union of secondary school teachers in Thunder Bay. Their team always enjoys the excitement of the event, but he's not afraid to admit the competition takes its toll.
Usually off the start, my agility goes down, but as I progress, it just gets sore. I'm getting old now, it gets sore, my arm hurts, but definitely we get tired. And yeah, we're just trying to get a couple more wins. It'll be a great day.
The event had brought in a total of $130,000 to United Way since it started. That's something Danier is proud to be a part of.
Having organizations like that help out the community, it's just something that everyone needs to be a part of, and we're happy to be a part of it whenever we can give back to the community. That's what we're all about.
The United Way supports 29 organizations in the community, and everyone involved hopes the dodgeball event survives for years to come. Mike Albanese, TBT News.